21 seconds to go. I got 21 seconds to flow. If you like, let me know. Let me in the studio. 21 seconds before I gotta go. Did you see me on the video? Oh no, did you see me on the video? Oh no, if you like, let me know. Let me in the studio. 21 seconds before I gotta go. 21 seconds. 21 seconds. It's September. It's time for games in September. Luke.
Yes.
It's nearly September.
It's autumn. The leaves are dead. The trees are dead.
Yay.
But it doesn't matter.
It's fine. We can
because we can stay inside
and
play games. Don't look out the window at all those dead trees.
Promising a huge universe of planets to explore and a customizable spaceship to do it in, Bethesda's next open-world adventure Starfield lands on the Xbox Series X, S and PC this September. Will it live up to the hype?
I'll tell you what's interesting about this month straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Is that I was recently filming a Game Pass games for September with Andy Farrant of Outside Xbox.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I think there is like pretty significant crossover between the games that are coming out and the games that are on Game Pass. So I think 3 of the games that we're talking about today.
Xbox have been like, let's put the games out.
Yeah.
Get some games out.
With the money. Starfield, it's gonna be a big deal. At the point where we're recording this, I've not played. Have you played it? I've not played it. Don't know if it's good or not. Don't know if it's good or not. But I'm so interested to know if it's good. How broken is it at launch?
Yeah.
Is it a bit broken? It's always going to be a bit broken.
Because it's going to be such a huge game.
Bethesda game. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a Bethesda game. Skyrim, when it first came out, everyone was like, lol, it's so broken. But in an endearing way. Is it going to be an endearing Skyrim way? Or is it going to be a Fallout 76 way? I know that wasn't technically made by Bethesda. It was another studio. But still...
Is it going to have the focused storytelling that players love? From Skyrim and some of the Fallouts? Or is it going to fall prey to the randomly, procedurally generated AI algorithmic lifelessness?
Is it going to have to be fix it so it's good in 4 years' time? Not Bethesda. What was the other one? The Mars one or the space one?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky, that's it.
Basically, is this the game that Bethesda is going to have to spend all of its time and resources fixing over,
so that we don't get an Elder Scrolls? Or is it going to be great?
Just gonna, what would be better? Straight out the gate, bam, great game.
Done. Yeah.
Great game. Yeah.
Either way, it's going to be really interesting to see everything unfold because it's either going to be like really good and everyone's going to be like, oh great, a good game, or it's going to be terrible and it's going to be real like popcorn watching for like, ooh, what's going on?
Will for us over on the
we're not the Xbox channel.
Yeah.
You guys okay over there?
Our fates are tied to theirs, Ellen. We need them to be okay.
We'll give them some popcorn as well. Make sure they have some sustenance.
Give them nothing.
The 12th game in the series, Mortal Kombat, returns with another reboot. With a story mode, online and offline multiplayer, the game also brings back the air combat combo system and introduces cameo fighters who will assist players during fights. And yes, cameo is spelt with a K.
This game will always have a place in my heart because we were on a live stream when it was announced with Mike and they started showing the gameplay and the first few punches were thrown and Mike said, I'm not seeing a lot of blood. I think this is the game where they finally tone down the violence. And then it very quickly just turned into a sort of escalating series of the most sarcastically horrifying fatalities and finishers and heads being smashed and pulled apart.
Well, there's one that I can't show.
We can't show any of this
because like this guy like grabs someone's head.
Yeah, that's just
has these things that grab his arms, grabs his head, and then pushes his head through his body. Right. Yeah. And all the while the head is screaming.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So I was just like, oh, okay. Cool.
You know, a fatality can also be just peacefully passing in your bed. Age 80 with your family around you. It's also a fatality. I'm just saying. Mortal Kombat, but that could also...
Yeah, or just a poison in the drink, you know, just something just
quiet...
You know?
That could also happen. Doesn't have to be a screaming head being pushed through a torso. I'll be completely upfront, I don't have much experience with the ins and outs of the Mortal Kombat fighting mechanics. I'm not really plugged in as to whether the things that they're adding and like taking away with this new version are like particularly controversial or are going to go down really well with Mortal Kombat fans, but I think generally, you've got to respect the commitment to keep making Mortal Kombats and not change them, even as they become completely unbroadcastable. Like, we won't be playing this on the channel. We would get demonetized
immediately.
And
One thing is they're bringing back, I think it's the character Melina, because I noticed in the comments section of one of the trailers, everyone's like, oh, they put Melina in this trailer so that people wouldn't be like, bring Melina back, because she'd been taken out in Mortal Kombat 11, and everyone was like, bring Melina back. And so,
Melina.
Good news for Melina fans.
Yeah.
If you like ladies who wear purple who have huge monstrous mouths with jagged teeth. So, yeah. Bloodborne meets Pinocchio. Lies of P will see you searching for your maker Geppetto in the city of Krat. Using a choice of weapons and your mechanical arm, you'll have to fight off all sorts of biological and mechanical monsters in this dark city inspired by the Belle Epoque. Fun fact, I was having a look on the Steam page and it was like, oh, it's set in the Belle Epoque era, to which I was like, epoch means era? It's like saying naan bread or chai tea. The Belle Epoque era.
Things that everyone says.
Is the beautiful era. Or like, so when you say FPS shooter, first person shooter.
Yeah. ATM machine. Get real. You're embarrassing yourself.
But anyway, this game looks good.
State of you. Belle Epoque era, for shame. Well, I won't be playing this now.
Sacre bleu. But yeah, set in the around 1880, between 1880 and World War I is sort of the era, and it's like all the beautiful architecture and stuff, so like Paris War and various lovely, pretty European
it looks
cities.
Beautiful. Yeah. We played a good chunk of this because they released a very generous demo. Yeah.
Link in the description.
I would say the demo they released was one of those demos big enough to show like confidence in the game. They were like, here's a great big chunk of it.
It was Resident Evil 7 level of like, here's a good chunk of the game.
When you know your game is pretty good, it's the kind of demo you release. So yeah, if the rest of the game like continues measures up to that demo, then like I think this is going to be a pretty fun one. Yeah, and they've managed to sneak it out before the Elden Ring DLC. So you know when
that's happening.
There's no release date for that at the time of recording this. But it's probably going to be like very end of this year or more probably next year. So you know, if you are a fan of, if you like that sort of thing, then yeah, this is coming along at a good time where there's a bit of a gap in the market. You can shove your robot puppet hand in and sort of kill some stuff. Yeah, the design's really cool. It looks really cool, and it plays nicely. Looks like Bloodborne, plays more like Dark Souls, as many commenters told me when they were telling me that I need to block more because
you don't really need to block it. Dark Souls, if you're good at rolling and you can measure your stamina, you're fine.
Only the demo is out, and everyone's already unhappy with my playstyle.
Everyone can play however they want. Internet.
Let's move on.
Get ready to steal a whole bunch more stuff as a third instalment in the Payday series arrives. Go on more wild heists, wear more ridiculous masks, and make your choice to go stealthy or take on swathes of armoured reinforcements.
Did you play Payday 2?
I've played bits of it for capture, for lists that we've done, and I was like, oh, this is fun.
Annoyingly, I already used my good observation about the Payday series in the Game Pass video, and now I have nothing to say. Shall I just say it again? I'm just going to say it again. My observation was that the Payday series is one of those game series that's like a nerdy game masquerading as a cool game. Because it's like, do the heist. Cool, like, but actually it's a very sort of dense RPG strategy kind of thing where you're
there's a lot of like making sure the security people don't move when you're clearing out things. So you'd be like, you do this, you do this, you do this. And we need to and like...
Great deal of strategizing, great deal of thought. But it presents itself as a sort of GTA style carnage and chaos. If you're a fan of strategy games, but you thought, well, I don't want to play a Grand Theft Auto Chaos-a-thon, then maybe do give Payday 3 a look, because...
The thing with that, right?
Okay, here comes James, who knows Payday. Yeah.
See, it's that kind of game right up until the point that it all goes wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when it all goes wrong, it then turns into, right now we just got to shoot everything that moves. And fight.
Like every single time I play Hitman.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Get 2 rooms in.
It all goes
like,
Mike.
Okay.
All goes a bit Mike.
I'll just shoot. Yeah.
I could probably find a link to Oxbox playing some Payday and Mike accidentally setting off a grenade right at the start of the map. So, yeah, if you play with Mike, that happens quite quickly.
Good times.
But yeah, no, it's good, like, because you can like be all super stealthy, you know, try and do things as carefully as possible, get rid of cameras and security alarms and blah blah blah, or you can just be like, bah, and go in.
Yeah,
it's fun. The long-delayed DLC for Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, appears this September. Starring Idris Elba, this all-new spy thriller adventure also brings an overhaul to the main game that will hopefully bring improvements for players. So, you know, gamers were getting spoiled. We had, for this game in particular, in terms of Hollywood talent, we've got lovely Keanu Reeves and then Idris Elba. Just very handsome men to just look at for ages. Thanks.
I'm not sure players we're getting spoiled is how I would characterise the Cyberpunk experience.
Like, in terms of, like, visuals.
Oh, yeah. In terms of face-mapped celebs.
Other side, we're finally seemingly getting a game that works. Because with this DLC, it's this huge 2.0 update.
Yes.
They're revamping the core mechanics. There's a new skill tree. They're changing the loot system.
That's cool.
I think that they're doing more things where you can like actually fight in cars and shoot out of windows in cars and things. That you can, you know, do things a bit more when you're driving around.
That's cool.
But there's so many changes that when you jump back in, you will need to respec your character.
Oh wow!
So you'll have to like change, like, so you'll have your V. But like they'll be like, okay, you need to like update this so that it works with the new game.
Redo
so
it with our new system.
They've basically kind of hopefully fixed it. This might be, if you've not played Cyberpunk, maybe this is the time you jump on.
Yeah.
Because outside of the fact that it was massively broken when it came out, there were some really good elements to it. There's really good acting. The conversation things, like, are really, really cool.
There was a lot of cool stuff with it. I seem like when the game came out, obviously all of the headline thing was how glitchy and buggy it was and stuff like that. But I did think that quite a lot of the bigger problems with Cyberpunk were things like progression and that skill tree where everything you unlock is like increases likelihood of critical something by 0.1%. On pistols, and
that's
like,
all getting revamped, so hopefully
that's really good to hear. And yeah, so, you know, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. That and I accidentally ended the story with the worst ending possible, and was like, I don't know how I did that. I don't know what I did.
I pushed through and I finished the story, but like there were so many side things that I didn't do because I could not be bothered.
The ending comes up on you quite quick.
Yeah, it does. If you just mainline, it's not a hugely long game because they built it to be this whole world that you want to explore. But if you go explore it, it breaks.
Well, so now there's an extra chunk of game play story stuff. So
yes, and hopefully it works this time.
Yeah.
It's been a while since a Harvest Moon game appeared on consoles with the name Harvest Moon attached to it, but this September, Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos appears across all platforms. Build up your farm, meet new creatures to bring back to your farm, and be careful of the volcanoes. So, I didn't realise this, but Harvest Moon, kind of in the West, changed the name to Story of Seasons.
Oh, right.
For a very long time, and I had so I was like, there hasn't been a Harvest Moon game in ages, but it hadn't just been under a different name.
The thing with Harvest Moon is that I've totally got a soft spot for it because I played an unholy amount of Harvest Moon on my Game Boy Color, I think, which is obviously now, like, we're going back ages and ages and ages. But I was like, I was so in deep with it. And back then, the game was basically just a farming sim. There wasn't really much more to it than that.
Yeah.
But that's all I want it to be. Can't it just be a really good runner farm? Sell your produce. Nowadays, it's very hard to recommend trying a Harvest Moon game over Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley, I feel, is just like totally eaten the lunch of the whole Harvest Moon franchise. So, let's bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back to no gems, no runes. Let's just grow some cress.
Well, part of this.
Sell the cress.
What would you say to bringing a dinosaur back to your farm? Because there's a dinosaur in the trailer, a little velociraptor-looking thing.
I love dinosaurs, but this is sounding already like it's. I mean, you would have him. I'm going to have cows on this farm, and I'm supposed to bring a velociraptor back? Hello, curdled milk. No thanks.
Yeah.
The cows need to be kept in calm conditions.
Okay, well, I'd say stay away from the volcano, and so that's fine. They just stay in the volcano.
There's a volcano.
Yeah, there's a volcano,
Right.
which is very good for crops and things. Very rich soils.
What this is me, an old man, shouting at a cloud that now Harvest Moon is more than just planting cress and selling cress and using the money from the cress to buy a bigger watering can. But yeah, it is cool the direction it's gone in. It's just the games have been of like differing quality. So
Yeah.
I would love for just a really great Harvest Moon game because they're cool and I like the history there.
Good song too. Head out to the desert and build up an old workshop to its former glory, or even fancier. A follow-on from My Time at Porsche, My Time at Sandrock sees you build relationships as well as this town. So this is, and it's also on the same day as Harvest Moon, this release, but this is very
Right.
much Harvest Moon-esque
Yeah.
style indie game. Many people watching will probably have played My Time at Porsche.
Yep.
Very cute game. And this one, it takes it out into the desert. It's got more combat to it. So you've got like little elements of combat in there, whereas Harvest Moon, I think, is a bit more chill and less hitting things. And this one has been out in early access since May last year in 2022.
Right, okay.
So fingers crossed, should be pretty good, and you can have little weddings and stuff, and it's so cute. There's little kind of in the trailer there was like, here's all the weddings that you can have, and it's like, oh. And you can like build up this amazing house.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really cute, but also you can go and like hit things and hit monsters and stuff. So if you want purely farming, I would say Harvest Moon is probably a better bet.
Play Stardew Valley and just do farming.
Yeah.
That's probably what I should do.
Yeah.
My Time at Porsche is a very popular game. I've not shown my ignorance because I haven't really played it, but I know that it was like a bit of a
Yeah, it was a
phenomenon.
bit of like, people were like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was one of those games that I meant to get into and then just didn't find the time.
One of
I
millions
think,
and millions. Yeah.
yeah, I think Animal Crossing was still eating into my life at that point, I think. So
Yeah. That whole Animal Crossing year is just a blur of catching bugs.
Yeah.
Sandrock though.
Yeah. So those are just some of the games coming out this month.
Yep.
If you can think of any others that you are most excited for that we've not mentioned, do feel free to mention them in the comments so that other people can see lots of other exciting games that are coming our way. But look, which one out of the 7 that we've mentioned today are you most excited about?
Well, I'm not going to say Starfield, just because I'm getting really into Baldur's Gate 3 at the moment, and I haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom, and I feel like I'm feeling some anxiety from all of these like giganto games that are like kind of stacking up around me, like each one a big brick sealing me in to my tomb. Not a bad tomb to be in though.
No.
Just hang out in my tomb playing
With Link and Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Just swapping between your Steam Deck and your
That is literally what I'm doing when the battery to one dies.
plug it in.
Yeah, honestly, on my desk I've got the Steam Deck's charging. And
Yeah.
and I've got the Switch next to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say, I'll say Lies of P because that's what I said in the Game Pass video as well. And I want to
Yeah.
be consistent. And I am really excited for Lies of P. I think
Yeah,
I
I
hope
think-
it's going to be great.
I think that's my one as well. Alongside, I'm interested to see how Cyberpunk,
Yes.
the DLC and this big update, like,
Yeah.
is it gonna like finally fix the game? It'd be nice for fans of the game to have something that runs a little better and has Idris Elba's face in it as
Yeah.
well. So
You know, video games, they stick around for a very long time. And it would be nice
Yeah.
if someone wanted to play Cyberpunk in like 10 years. And it is,
And it
just a
works.
really solid RPG
yeah,
that they can enjoy.
please. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do give us a thumbs up.
Yep,
We need it. We need
we need
your
it.
external
We
validation.
need it.
Please.
We're asking you today to press the thumbs up button, please.
Thank you.
Please.
And if you want to support us even further, you can join our Patreon, where you will be given access to our Discord,
Yeah.
where we can all chat about other games on
Yeah,
there. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Great fun.
All right. Take it easy, folks.
Bye.
Goodbye. Have a good September.
Pinocchio.